Hello there. So this is hi. We're on day 4, would it be 4, of the Roving Hill Stitch Along. Good morning. I always forget it's morning for you. Have you had a coffee yet? You all good to go? And before I get to teaching the next stitches, I've had a few people asking me what this bit's going to be. And it's just going to be a repeat. Down here. Hi, Martha. Hope you're feeling better. Lovely one. I'm just going to do a few of these little stitches just to show you where I'm up to with this. You've had a coffee. Oh, good, good, good. I have had, I've just had a pack of crisps. Very boring chat. They're like my favourite crisps. These. Like literally, anyone in the UK, Ready Salsa Squares are the best crisps. I love squares. Just had those. Having a roast dinner for tea tonight. And back to school tomorrow. So we've got a bit of nervousness from the kids. Is that kind of like Sunday scaries, call them, don't we? So crunchy. I love squares. I just think they're like the best crisps. I think they're dead underrated as well. So this is what we're doing in this section here. And we're just going to keep trapping them. And then the line underneath, we can use that one as a couching line as well. So I'll just do a couple of stitches just so you can see. And then we're going to move on to this side here. We're going to do some chain stitch and reverse chain stitch as well. And it's bank holiday here for those who aren't in the UK. So I think most people, unless you work in retail, I've had the day off today. There we go. So you can see, I'm just going to carry it, and you can see here it goes quite narrow. So it'd be quite nice to see how the little zigzags fit into that spot. I'll just do a couple more and then we'll move on to the chain stitch. We'll do a little bit of reverse chain stitch as well. I love reverse chain stitch. It's one of my favourites. We've got a very grey day here today, so it's a little bit dull. The light's not beaming through as it was, but if it does carry on being this dark, I will put a little light on. Okie dokie, so I'll leave that there just so you can see for anyone joining and anyone that's been wondering what this side is going to be. It's another zigzag line with the couching. Okay, so we're going over here today and we are going with some chain stitch and reverse chain stitch. So a nice way, most people have done chain stitch before, a nice way of practicing chain stitch and reverse, especially on a stitch sampler. It's always nice to revisit stitches that we do often, play with variations. I'm going to go with a nice, no I'm not, I'm going to save some pinks for down here. Let's go lighter as we go down. I'm going to go with, let's bring some yellow in on this side. I'm so indecisive with my colour. Sunny here for the moment, is it? Do you know, you've been sending me such gorgeous pictures of your the trees where you live, and they are absolutely beautiful. So Mel sent me a picture of, it was a weeping willow, but it had blossomed. Now Martha, you're in the UK like me. I've never seen a blossoming weeping willow, have you? Okay. We're going to go with chain stitch. I've just got a little stitch there. Thread that's long at the back. I'm just going to trim that and we'll deal with it after. And we'll trim that one and that one too. Okay. So here we are. Because otherwise, if you don't trim them, they come back through. Okay, we're going to go with chain stitch. Smooth that thread out there. No, I've never seen. Honestly, I'm going to have to get Mel to share the picture. It's a weeping willow, like we know them, the lovely green leaves, it all comes down, and it's bright pink. I honestly, I've never seen anything like it. It looks amazing. Okay, so we're going to start off, if you're doing a chain stitch, we're going to start off with a tiny stitch like this. Let me zoom in so you can see. Okay. No, we're doing chain or reverse. No, I'm doing reverse at the minute. Let me come back out. Here we are. We'll go over this bit. We're going to go with chain stitch first and then we'll do reverse on the next one. So let's come from here. We're going to do our first chain. Now a little tip, if you want to keep your chains all the same size, you can use a heat erasable pen to mark where you want your stitches to go. Don't forget on a chain stitch, if you've got a curved line, a bit like back stitch or even running stitch, but mainly back stitch if they connect, you want to keep them quite small so you don't get a chunky, almost zigzag type line. So you're going to go like this on a curve. You want to keep them quite small so that they work along that curve. If you do them, if you've got a curve, let's do a bigger curve. If you do a curve and you do them quite large and chunky, you end up with that kind of like hexagonal overall look. It's not smooth if you do them too big. So we're going to go quite small. So we're going to start off with the first loop in our chain stitch. I'm just going to hold my loop over. I'm going to come up at that first point that I made and through the loop. And I'm going to pull that thread through. Now, if you want to have an open chain stitch, you can leave it like that, so you can see it quite open. If you want to have it nice and tight, you can pull it tight like that. Just depends how you like it. For this one, I'm going to leave them slightly open so that we can see them going through. So I'm going to go back through and give that a wiggle. There we go. And then to create the next chain, just like you did here, we're going to go back down into the initial point. I'm going to create that loop and I'm going to come up through the loop and give it a little pull. I keep getting that thread popping back through. I'm going to keep it quite open and you're going to do this all the way along. And this is basic chain stitch. Up on the line again, through the loop, pull. It's a lovely textural one. It's a great one for doing text. It's a great one for curved lines. I really like chain stitch. You're going to go all the way along. Now, a way that you can make this all fancy smancy with beadwork is you could go along afterwards and you can add a bead in each chain stitch. So it looks all sparkly, a bit like we've done here, but you can add one in each one. If you wanted to add bead, you don't have to. You could also add a French knot in between each chain, because that'd look quite nice as well. Okay. Anybody like chain stitch? Is it one of your favourites? One you're not really bothered about? Is it one that you use a lot? There we go. Always through the middle. I love chain stitch. Okay. And then just to add a little bit of variation, let's just change the stitch sizes. I love reverse. Reverse is my absolute favourite. I do think chain sits beautifully, but reverse for the quick way is just, yeah, a dream. I'll show you that one on the next line. So I'm going to go bigger and then smaller, just to show you an alternative for your chain stitch. There's a bigger one. And then I'm going to go smaller. Let's make it tiny. Hi, Marilyn. And then I'm going to go bigger again. And again, if you need to mark these out, then you can do. But I'm just going to show you just the difference if you change your stitch size up. Then we'll do another small one. So it could be if you were going to put beads in them, you might just put the beads in the bigger one and have an alternate. I like it. Sorry, trying to work and watch. Do not worry at all. Do not worry. Have you got both monitors on, Brandy? I love the cleverness of how you guys tune in. So another big one. So you can see it looks like, oh, it looks like, I'm sure they were called a Figaro chain. Do you remember Figaro chains? I'm sure they're still about now. I know, like, back in the 90s, like, having, like, a lovely gold or a silver one with an ingot on them were quite popular. I'm not sure if they're as popular now, but Figaro chains. Okay, we'll do one big one, and I think we'll finish it with a small one. I think that's how much space we'll have. Yes, too much work today's payroll. Oh, no. Is it end of the month? No, it's not middle of the month, but yeah, some people have middle of the month pay, don't they? Here we go. And we'll do a small one at the end, slightly bigger than I would have liked, but there we go. Okay. And when to finish off and anchor your stitch, you're going to stitch just to the other side of the loop. And with that stitch down, you anchor it down like that. So you can see the difference there if we change up big, small, big, small. Quite a nice way to, and that's where they're all the same size. Have you not seen one in years? Martha, don't make me go through my jewellery box because I'm pretty sure I've still got one somewhere. If I can find it, I'll dig it up. Now, this is a reason why we always knot in and tie off our threads. Otherwise, it ends up looking like spaghetti junction, doesn't it? Let's see if we can salvage this. If not, we'll just trim it off. We've gone right through a strand. Let's just trim it off. There we go. The professional way would be to give it a knot off. But we're not going to worry too much about that. There we are. We'll leave a little bit of length on there to tie it there. And those are for over that side. Okie dokie. I'm going to tie this one off. At the back. Martha, I knew you'd be giggling at me. I could feel every time I pulled the needle through, I could feel it tugging. And I could hear it going, ha ha. Wait till you show them the back. Okay, now reverse chain. I prefer reverse chain in the mechanics of it. I'm going to go with, what we'll go with that nice colour. Where's that purpley one gone? So we'll go with the purple. Oh, yes. Okay. And pull a nice long length. Ouch. I'm loving seeing all of your pictures coming through as well. It's great. And they all look so different. Everyone's stitching. Tensions are different. It's gorgeous. Lovely to see them. Okay, reverse chain stitch. And if we were to go this way, if we go from left to right, I'm going to turn the chains the opposite way. Okay. So in order to start, I'm going to go here. I'm going to do a chain this way. Let's bring you down. Like this. And then I'm going to anchor it down at this end. Okay. Just like that. Now that is classed as a lazy daisy or detached chain stitch. So I'm going to start off with a detached one, and then I'm going to continue along this way, and I'll show you how. Okay, so we're going to come up to here. I'm then going to weave underneath this one. And stitch down. Like that. And then I'm going to go with the next one. I'm going to stitch underneath and stitch down. So reverse chain, I just find it a little bit easier, but as you can see it doesn't stick up as much as this one, but I think it depends what overall look you're going for and how you like to stitch, but reverse chain's a great one. I think it helps you as well keep your stitch length. Can you hear the birds? We've got so many birds at the front. We've got lots of lovely trees, but we've also got like a little hedgerow. Next door neighbours have got a hedgerow. I think that is, are they blackbirds? I know we've got lots of sparrows at the minute. I've not seen any goldfinch at all, but we have got gorgeous birds at the front. And we always tend to get a little nest in that hedgerow. And then when it comes to cutting it back at the end of the year, it's so cute seeing what they've made it up with. There's always little bits of plastic in it though, which is a bit sad. There we are. So you keep going all the way along, like this. I'm going to stop part way, mainly because I've just had an idea and I really want to give it a go on the next variation. So again, you could play with the stitch length if you wanted to. Could go with a larger one, a smaller one. Could even go large, medium, small, large, medium, small, all the way along. Okay. In fact, you know, I might just finish this row because I am nearly there. And I'm a pain for going, oh, let's try the next bit. Here we go. Can you believe we're into the second week of the Roving Hill Stitch Along? I genuinely can't believe it's gone that quick. Do you know what? I'm not going to have enough for... No, do you know what? I'm going to have enough for the last stitch. Come on, Natalie. I need you to will me on, guys. I'm not sure if I've got enough thread. Oh, have I? I mean, come on, look at that. Okay, so there we are. There is our chain and reverse chain. And I've just had an idea for this one. So I'm going to give it a go. Let's have a look. I'm going to use a darker purple underneath there. You can do it. I'm going to thread my needle. And instead of chain to chain to chain, I'm going to do chain to a small line to a chain. I'm going to see if I can get it to work. Again, I'm going to do reverse chain. So I'm going to start here. I'm determined to not keep pulling those bits up. Back down into the entry point. Into here. And anchor it down. So again, a detached chain to start with when we're doing reverse chain stitch. Okay. Pull, pop. All right, let's see if this works. I'm going to come up here, do a double chain. Oh, you are testing me. You are testing me. Here we are. Might have to do that one on my separate one. Okay, let's do that little line there. And then I'm going to do a chain stitch under this one. Now there is actually a way of doing this one when you can have different colours on 2 different threads. But let's have a look at see what this one looks like. Ooh. And really, if you're going to add beads as well, you could add a bead on that one. You did your thread thin enough. So again, let's do another small one. I need to widen that one. I don't want to pull it too tight because I want to be able to see the open stitch. That was quite cool. I like that one. And for double chain, I would have to remind myself how to do double chain actually. I'm going to have to do that one though, aren't I? Imagine how knotty the back would be. I know, and it is a little bit of a... You can actually get a two-eyed needle. So you would have an eye here and an eye there. You'd have, say for example, you did it in black and white. You'd have black in the first one, white in the second one. And then you'd kind of pull them through. But you would have to, I mean, you couldn't really do it neatly, I don't think, with 6 strands in each. Because then you're pulling 12 strands through. You're stitching, aren't you? And that'd be a nightmare. But I'd done, I think it was a Christmas hoop, a mini 4-inch Christmas hoop. And I'd done the chain stitch, but with 2 colours. I think that looks really quite cute, that one. And it looks like a proper chain as well, doesn't it? What are we thinking of that one then? And all done with reverse chain as well. Let's go smaller. And then this one here on the zigzag, I'm going to do a zigzag chain stitch. And that one definitely is more tricky because you've obviously with chain stitch, when you're stitching in one straight line, it's easier to keep the tension right. Obviously when you're going on a zigzag, you really you struggle to kind of hold the edges down, but we're going to go with it and we're going to see what we can do and give it a try, because this stitch sampler is all about sampling stitches, and it's good to give things a go even if you don't like them or you feel a bit nervous about giving them a try. It's definitely worth giving them a go, because you never know, you might find some stitches that you actually really like. I really like that as a chain stitch. You know, imagine if we had some little beads in there as well. There we go. Nearly finish this line. I think it looked really nice. And really, if you wanted to, you could thread 2 needles. Say, for example, we want to do all of these short stitches with the lighter purple. You could do that. So at this point now, I've threaded down with the purple. I would then pick up my other needle, stitch down with the light purple, and then I would come up and do my chain stitch. So you could do it that way. And you could even do it with less strands and pop a bead on. Oh, thank you, Nomnino. It's looking beautiful. Here we are. The birds have slowed down a little bit now. We've had lots of rain today. Lots and lots of rain. Quite sad, really, when you think about it's a day back to school. Here we are. Come on now, don't get stuck. The colours. Colours are cute, aren't they? I quite like those. I'm going to bring in a bit of purple on this section here. Okay, one more and then we'll do a short one to finish. You could definitely add some beads in there, couldn't you? So those who haven't seen the beadwork one, that was on day 3. Should be updated and uploaded to Instagram and I think on YouTube as well. There we go. I like that one. That looks quite cute. Turn this one over. And we're going to, that one I didn't have a lot left, did I? Let me see if I can pull that back up. Tidying that. Let's give that a snip. Now I am going to knot these two together because they're so close. And I left that light purple one very short. So let's give those a knot together. Perfect. Just to show you, before we go off here, let's add some beads. What's that bottom bit? Let's see what I add. I'm going to try and bring that yellow in here, so I'm going to use some of these yellowy colours. Or go with just plain yellow or gold. Put a few of them in there. I'm going to swap my needle for my beading needle. And I'm going to use a yellow thread. I'm going to use one of the ends that I had before. I'm not going to do no wastage. We're going to reuse. Zoom in, lift you up a little bit. And therefore, I'm not hitting my hand on there as I go. So let's add some beads. So if you remember from last time, I came up where I wanted my first bead to go. There's the end of the thread. I'm just going to hold on to that and I'm going to stitch up and down a couple of times just to make sure I anchor this thread in place. Because doing a knot with one strand, you've got to make it really big, otherwise it's just going to pop back up. So I'm just going to go over a couple of times and then that should be okay to come up. There we go. I'm going to pick up a bead on my needle. I'm going to stitch back down. There we are, that's going to sit nicely in there. I don't want to do too many beads all close together because obviously I've got my beads up here. I've got some here, might add some more down here. Let's rethread that needle. Has anybody tried with the beads yet? On their pieces. It'd be so good to hear from you guys how you're finding the bead work. You might not like to add beads onto your embroidery, and that's totally okay as well. You have done. Oh, lovely. Big question, have you spilt any of the beads yet? Because these seed beads are a nightmare to tidy up. I hope you haven't, because it is, though it does sound quite satisfying when you hoover them. So there we are, that's what it'd look like if you started adding beads in there as well. Oh, that looks quite cute. I'm going to go with just this last one, and then I'm going to show you this zigzag with chain stitch. We're going to do the right thing, Natalie, and we're going to knot that off because we don't want to lose them. I loved it. Used it on the zigzag on the other side. Oh, lovely. Yes, you did on the tops and bottoms. That's really cool. Can you try and get a close-up and I'll reshare that picture as well, Mel? That looks beautiful. It's so lovely to see how other people are doing. And people might think of doing slightly different things to what I've done as well. And we all think about doing different things ourselves, don't we? And I know that Veronica, she's painted some of her hills in like lighter colours. One's like a pinky orangey colour, which I think will look so nice. Doesn't that look nice? Let's zoom in. How cute is that? I like that. Okay. I'm going to use this yellow again and bring it back down here. So let's get a nice strand of the yellow. And we're going to go with this zigzag, my other needle, and yeah, let's go with this zigzag. So as you can see on here, this is the example one. Here is the zigzag, and we've basically gone with a chain stitch up and then a chain stitch down. But as you can see here, because it's on an angle, which I'll show you as we stitch, they can tend to ping up. So I've just anchored a contrasting colour here. And it works really well. Looks quite cool. No one borrows me from there. Oh no. You need to have a note on your door or an out of office. It's always the way though, isn't it? I find that like with kids as well. So you could be downstairs, pottering about, doing a bit of tidying, you know, and all of a sudden the door goes, the dog needs a wee, you know, the kids need you for something. So here we are, here's the first chain stitch. I'm going to come up here at the top of the zigzag. And we're not going to pull too tight because that is going to make it ping over. And then I'm going to come down. So as you can see there, as we pull down, it loosens off the anchor there. And that's why I put the little anchor stitches on the tips of them all. Have I gone through the stitch properly there? Okay. And then we're going to bring the next chain stitch down, going down the direction of these zigzags. And we're going back up. It's quite simple to do. Yes, so annoying, isn't it? I can imagine you've got two gorgeous little doggies, haven't you? That the postman will turn up and, you know, nobody's been there all day. And then as soon as you get stuck into doing something, seems like everybody needs you. So, there we are. So you can see I'm just going up and down along that same line. Back up into the centre. Whoop. Not into the threads, into the centre. So you can see here at the minute, I'm not needing to add any form of an anchor stitch, but if you did want to add one, so you can add that little bit of contrasting colour, or if, for example, you didn't do a bead in here, you could do a little bead on the edges of these. Or you could even, if you don't want the colour to be a contrasting colour, you could even go over with a couple of strands of the yellow, or whatever colour you do yours in, and just anchor them down, just to make sure that they don't move around too much. I think it's just such a nice alternative, because really we always do chain stitch, don't we, in a straight line. There we go. You've never done this before. Do you mean you've never done the zigzag one before? I mean, I think in a lot of patterns, there's never the opportunity to do it unless you're designing your own, in which case you'd need to design it quite specific, wouldn't you, to have that zigzag. But it'd be quite nice, you know, if, for example, if you enjoyed embroidering a pattern that had maybe like a jumper in it, that'd be quite cool. Or Christmas crackers, that'd be really cool as well. You have those little zigzags on the end, or Christmas baubles, that'd be quite nice on Christmas baubles. I'm just thinking off the top of my head here, so if you do think of any more. Okay, I'm going to do one more, just to finish off that bit. Yeah, chain stitches, it's so cute, I love the idea. There. I'm just going to stitch down there because I'm running out of thread. And I know that I can finish that. So now I've run out of thread here. When I come to start my next one, I'll just start here. So you won't see that, like, a joining thread there. Okay, if you wanted to add the little anchor stitches, let's bring back... No, I'm going to bring back this dark purple, but I'm just going to take 2 strands, because I don't want it too thick, and I don't want it to look too bulky. I just want it to be like a really delicate stitch, so then I'll put a little anchor over there. Ooh, good thinking, Martha. That might have to be. We'll see how everybody gets on with them here first. If everybody hates them, they might see them on the Christmas sale and be like, absolutely not, Natalie. But I think you'll quite enjoy doing these. I think it's just really fun to play around with stitches that we use all the time and see used in the same way. It's quite nice to play around with them. So there's the top one. I'm just going to come down here, come to the bottom of the zigzag. And lock it down there. See, it's just a really tiny stitch. Just to anchor them down, but it does look nice without, actually. Yeah. But you can see it just pulls them flat towards the fabric. Cut yourself up. Oh no! Did your internet go off? Ours has been a bit temperamental actually today. I think it's when it rains. It must be like a loose connection outside, but seems to be okay now. I've just started embroidering in January. Oh my gosh! Oh wow, amazing! And what made you decide to give it a go? So Brandy's just said, I just started embroidering in January, so I've mostly done kits, so I'm learning new things all the time. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I just think once you kind of start, you just realise just how much there is to learn and how much, I mean, you could just never get bored. There's so many different ways of embroidering. And have you found it okay so far then, Brandy? You enjoying it? Here we go. Right, I'm just going to do one more, but I think that looks really pretty with them just anchored down a little bit. There. Okie dokie dokie. One way I have worked with the chain stitches here is I have just stitched a back stitch into the centre of each one. So if you wanted to add a little bit more, here you can see I've done longer back stitches. Here you can see I've done almost like a running stitch. So it's just another way. I've decided I want a new hobby for the new year. Brilliant. That's amazing. And where are we now? April. That's fantastic. You'll be absolutely hooked, won't you? Yeah, I love it. I think in New Year as well, I think setting yourself resolutions, I find them really hard to kind of keep. I feel that pressure once I've set one, but for a new hobby, oh, I'm all in with a new hobby. Absolutely. So, let me just check what time it is. I want to go. Oh, battery's died. Hold on one second. Should we have 10 more minutes? I think we'll go on to this little bit here. Okay, so you can see here we've had a little bit of a play around with weaving underneath. This was just a stitch that I had a bit of fun with, bit of play around with. So here we're just going to do a back stitch. Back stitch can be known as being quite a boring stitch, but it's quite versatile as well. It's reminding me of the big purple one. Oh, from Quality Street. And also I think the yellow and the purple reminds me of Cadbury's chocolate, full stop. So I think that's, with it being Easter yesterday and our house being like the Cadbury's factory, Cadbury's chocolate factory, that's probably where those colours have come from. But also, yeah, this is like quite shiny into like the Cadbury's wrappers. So I'm going to go with here. I'm going to go with a back stitch here and here, and then inside here I'm going to have a play around with colours. So on this section I want you to have a think about what colours you want to use, which colours will work well together, and we'll go from there. And they are basically just small straight stitches, back stitch here and back stitch here, and it's just to have a bit of play around with weaving underneath and keeping your stitch lengths certain sizes. I'm going to bring a little bit more orange into here. So where's that lighter orange gone? We dropped it. There it is. No, let's go with a darker orange, a brighter orange, because it kind of separates that hill from this hill, and we'll start a new section. So let's go with this nice orange here. Now I've actually marked this bit with 2 little lines. I'm not really sure why, but we'll give it a go. I think it's maybe for the seed stitch. I like the mindless, is that the word of back stitch? Yeah, you can just kind of go with it, can't you? Just keep going. I'm going to be doing a little bit of back stitch this evening on my son's school trousers and my son's school blazer, because I don't know what is wrong with the quality of them at the minute, but every time he comes home another seam has gone. So yeah, it's not great really. I know Martha will love that, because that's one of the questions I used to get asked a lot. Oh, no way, you can embroider. Fantastic, can you hem some trousers for me? Two totally different things. But, yeah, skills that we need nonetheless. I forgot about doing that, actually. I'm going to have to. Otherwise, he's going to look like he's got one leg longer than the other. Which would be fine if he had, but... Okay, so here we are, a little bit of back stitch along this bit here. You could also whip this back stitch. Do you darn socks? I've been asked to darn, oh, the amount of things. And especially when it's like, you know, something that's like chiffon. Oh, I've got this, I've got a hole in this chiffon top. I'm like, oh, that's just really not something that I'm going to be doing. Yeah, darning socks, fixing holes in anything. You get asked to do a lot, don't you? Martha, you devil. You've got a little knot in there, no? Oh, I can hear a child outside. It's been... Don't know what they're doing, but the mum's telling them off. So excuse me if you can hear that. I've got the window open because it is still quite warm, despite the fact that it's been pouring down all day. So here we are. So do a lovely back stitch on this side. I'm going to go just another couple so I can show you, and then I'll leave you to do the catching up, because I don't want this live to go over an hour and then me not be able to save it and put it on YouTube for you all. So here we are. So there's our back stitch, and then we're going to back stitch this bottom line as well. So I'm just going to come straight down. You don't have to do it this way. I'm just coming down this way because I'm going to show you all quickly. This thread does not like me today. I'll back stitch along here. If you wanted to keep it all very uniform, you could actually use these lines as a guide to where to start and where to finish. And yeah, actually that's quite nice, actually, isn't it? You can make them longer and shorter as you go down as they get closer together. So then I'm going to use some small straight stitches in the centre, and I'm going to bring some green back in now. And we'll go with, let's go with the dark green. No, let's go with the light green. Very indecisive today. Okay, so lovely straight stitches. And they are exactly that. You could at this point go a little bit thinner if you wanted to, and add a bead as you make these straight stitches. Oh, in fact, you know, I'm going to alternate. I'm going to do a light green here and a light green here, because I'm going to play around with colour. Think about playing around with your colour here. I'm going to do a light green here and a light green here. And I'm going to do that all the way down, and then I'm going to put a dark green in between. I think that'll look quite cool. Now, you were playing around with stitches and you wanted to use, these are called like a bugle stitch. Those ones were bugle. Let me take one out to show you. So these are slightly twisted. You see how they twist. And these ones are that's a bugle. And this one is a stifed. Can you see that? This one is just a straight one, but these would be quite cool, you know, to add details on to these bits, or even in the middle. But they do get smaller here, so you would have to be careful with that. But you could add those on. Oh, if you didn't want to do chain stitch on there, you could add beads on there. See, my mind just goes, oh, this looks good. I mean, imagine them here as well. But that wasn't what we were doing, Natalie, so don't tell people to do things that we weren't doing. I literally just have all these ideas and go, oh my God, that would look so amazing. That would be so cool. But yeah, adding little beads on there would be so cool as well. Okay. Super quick. I feel like I'm racing against time. It's like countdown. Do you have countdown in the States? I know in the UK we do, you have that clock. It's like, boo. Like, that just used to panic me when my mum used to watch Countdown when I was younger. I'm like, quick, Mum, get the answer. It's a horrible feeling. I literally cannot do things against the clock. I can't. Okay, there we are. That's a little bit quiet. I am going to use dark green. Stick with the original plan. Let's go with some dark green. And we're going to do the same in the on the little markings that are left. Okay. Little straight stitches. Yeah, you don't know. Oh, you don't like working towards a time. No, it panics me. Although if I'm working on a job, so say for example, I like to do the house tidying to Pomodoro timers. So a Pomodoro timer is you give yourself 20 minutes, and this is how I like to do it. 20 minutes, then you have to give yourself a 10-minute break, and then you can start the timer again for 20 minutes. So there's nothing to say you've got to have this finished in 20 minutes, but you just know you can power through it for 20 minutes, and then you have to take that break. Even if you think, oh, I'm in the flow, I don't want to take a break, you have to take it. Like, your brain needs that break, so you do that. So I like working to Pomodoro timers, but when you can hear the ticking timer, oh my gosh, in school, the absolute panic. Exams, oh my gosh, you just can't take your eyes off. Yeah, I get in my head and I'm done. Yeah, definitely, I'm exactly the same. So yeah, knowing now that I've got like 50 minutes when I'm a complete waffler to get done. 59 minutes, but I don't want to chance it because I do have to save this life. Okay, so once we've done that bit, okay, so we're going to go here. One more. No. Yes, one more. Okay, and then this central bit here, I'm going to do 2 stitches. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do a dark green one here on the top. I'm going to play around with my colour. And then I'm going to do a dark green one here on the bottom. It looks good, doesn't it? And these are just really simple stitches. Really simple, straight stitches and back stitch. It just goes to show, even just learning when you're first starting out, just learning the basics, the very basic stitches, you can do so much with them as well. Just playing around with the different colours. So I'm going top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, until I get to the end. Right, I've missed the start and realised you've covered a lot of this. Do not worry, Pamela. Do not worry at all. I am going to upload this to Instagram straight away. It takes some time for it to upload and be accessible for me to download. But I will also add it to YouTube, so please don't worry. It's absolutely fine. And then obviously once it's on YouTube or once it's on my Instagram channel, you can rewatch it as many times as you like. So please never ever worry. Life continues. We've all got stuff going on. So if you miss the start, miss the end, or can't make one of the lives, please don't worry, because they are all recorded. Okay. But yeah, we've just done today this lovely chain stitch here. Okay. I'm just going to stop there because I want to put that last stitch in, so I can show you what this looks like. Let me just check the time. Oh, I've got about 4 minutes. And then straight after this live, I'm actually going to do another live based on this, my lovely April kit, which is this one, the lovely Country View. So I'm going to work on these lovely yellow flowers here and possibly the bluebells too. So this is just like an extra bonus for PDF buyers, kit buyers, just to kind of have a little bit of community while we're stitching, and to show you the different stitches within the kit that may be a little bit more tricky, although the booklet works perfectly well to show you. Well, I might have to go live at about 6:10 because my battery's running a bit low, so I'll charge that up. Okay, that looks really nice. Look at that. So just in playing with the colour and stitching on top and the bottom in different colours, I've created quite a nice little pattern. There we go. And I'm going to finish this section before Wednesday, and then I'm going to show you how to do the weaving in and weaving out of that central line. That way I know I've got everything saved and I can upload this video. There we go. That looks really cute. I like that. So we're going to work on this little bit in the middle. There we go. Weave in, out, and have it all tufty. So you can see that's quite basic there, but just by changing the colours around, you've added a different look to the pieces, haven't you? So there we go. Thank you so much for joining me on this live. I'm going to be going live again in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I'm just going to charge my phone up and get ready to do the country view, boofy yellow flowers and some bluebells. But yes, this video is going straight up onto Instagram and will be saved and going onto YouTube as well. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you later. Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. I'll see you on the next live then. All right, Mel. Bye, love.